Hey, what's up? Coach Ryan Family here from VIPAR. Today we're going to talk about squatting and stability as well as mobility, okay? So the brain is super smart. Your brain knows that if you don't have proper stability around your spine, it's not going to let you have a lot of mobility in the joints that surround the spine. So hips, that's right. A lot of people with tight hips, it's due to the brain perceiving poor stability around the spine, okay? There's a couple things that stabilize the spine. You have the abdominal muscles, or the core as you would call it. So your rectus abdominis, the big muscle that everyone thinks about with the six pack. But there's also a bunch of little buggers around there too, like the internal and external obliques. The transverse abdominis is another one, and then a lot of tiny spinal muscles around the backside as well. All of these are primary spinal stabilizers so that you can move through your extremities. Another one that a lot of people don't realize though is the diaphragm. That's right, the diaphragm. Have you ever noticed when you go to pick up something heavy that you will hold your breath? Okay, that is you actively trying to breathe out against a closed glottis, and that creates a ton of pressure in the abdomen, all right? That pressure helps to stabilize the spine. Now here's where it kind of rubs off here for a lot of people that like to lift heavy, and why a lot of people that lift heavy often suffer from hip mobility issues. One of many reasons actually. You get accustomed to squatting heavy, and every powerlifting coach will tell you when you go to walk the bar out, you take your big breath and you brace. And that is correct when you're lifting heavy loads, okay? You absolutely want to brace your spine to keep it safe while you're lifting heavy. But here's the problem. Your diaphragm is really good at providing a nice stable bracing position. So over time, as you get accustomed to bracing, staying tight, holding your breath as you squat, those little tiny muscles, the internal obliques, the transverse abdominis, if you do not do direct work for them, they will become weak, okay? And you will get to a point where your brain now knows that those muscles are weak and your mobility will suffer a little bit. So this is one easy, super simple drill that you can incorporate into your program. I do it every time I warm up for the squat, and it's truly made a big difference in my squats and my hip mobility. It's simply the breathing squat. Now I'm going to show you what I do with a safety squat bar here, but another great variation of it is a goblet position, holding a dumbbell right here. A front squat position, or a regular back barbell squat, but it's quite simple. All you're gonna do is get under a very light bar, in this case an empty bar. You can add a little bit of load to it, but I would say no more than maybe 30% of your max. And you're gonna drop to the bottom position and just start taking deep diaphragmatic breaths. Why does that work? Well, in the bottom position, if you're actively breathing, the diaphragm is not being used as a stabilizer, so then the brain will switch on and strengthen those other stabilizer muscles that get lazy over time, and it'll allow you to build greater hip mobility in that bottom position. So here's what it looks like, super freaking simple, okay? And I'm doing this completely stone cold, and for any of you that know me, usually my squat position is atrocious when I'm stone cold, and it might be, but after a couple breaths, I think it's gonna gradually get better. What you do, you squat down to the bottom position, and you just start taking deep breaths, and as you breathe and relax, you're gonna settle in to a better bottom position, all right? Get set here, drop to the bottom, and just breathe. And this is a little junky right now. And I can already tell my hips are starting to open up a little bit. The adductors are relaxing a little bit. You may not be able to see it there, but what I'll typically do is I'll do 3 or 4 sets of just 10 really deep breaths in the bottom position, and then I'll start adding weight. And of course, as you get up heavier in weight, then you do want to start bracing with the diaphragm and holding your breath, all right? I'm Coach Ryan Family from the VIPAR Pit. If you like this video, please hit subscribe below, and I will catch you later.